What is going on, everybody? It is Dylan with Astrodfs, and in today's video I'm going over the Week 3 Thursday Night Showdown between the Bills and Dolphins. So we got a high total. It's at like 49.5. The Bills are 11.5 point favorites, so that means Vegas is expecting the Bills to score. But if you look at it from the other side, they're also expecting Miami to get some points in this one too. If you remember the last matchup we had between Miami and Buffalo, we did have a very high scoring game. Versus earlier in the season, we definitely did not. I believe that's when Tua got hurt too. But yeah, we're going to be at Buffalo. We got some heavy prices, right? I think we've gotten lucky with where the showdown prices have been. But Josh Allen is 12,400. He's very up there. Devon Achane 10.8, James Cook 10.6, Tyreek Hill 9.8, Tua 9.4, Waddle 8.8 as some of the big pieces in this game. So where I'm at with this game, I think the Bills are going to score points. I think it's going to be fairly easy. Miami's dealing with some injuries. I'm interested to see the Chop Robinson news. Storm Duck's out. I think they're missing another safety at that. So, like, their secondary is pretty banged up as is. Like, their secondary is bad going into the year, but now it's even more banged up. They're missing two of their starters, and their starters aren't even all the way there yet, talent-wise, right? They're still young, so it's really, really hard to judge, but talent-wise, they're just not there yet, and two of their starting DBs are on, a corner and a safety, against one of the best offenses in the league. And you're facing a quarterback that just has tremendous success. Like, you can go and look at Josh Allen's numbers against Miami. They are crazy. He puts up some amazing numbers, just average game, not just one game here and there, just average. He dominates against Miami. Being at home, yeah, like, there's a lot to like between Josh Allen and James Cook both. And then on the other side, Miami, like, yeah, it's pretty hard to not want Devon Achane in your lineups. Whenever they are having success, he's their guy they rely upon. They don't have Jonnu Smith this season. Waller has pretty much been MIA since signing to the team. He's going to be out again. The one thing that should be noted, I would watch the injury statuses for this game. There are some key injuries, especially on the Buffalo secondary side, that could open up some more playable plays for Miami. But Milano is out for Buffalo. Ed Oliver is out for Buffalo. Those are two of the box guys, so a defensive tackle and a linebacker. So yes, like Devon Achane becomes, really, really, really playable in this one. Like, if we're expecting a 49.5 total, Miami's going to have to move the ball one way or another. I really haven't had success actually running the ball. It's been more of Devon Achane in the past game. So, yes, the top three I much love. I mean, there's not a lot to not like. Surprisingly, Devon Achane doesn't have a red zone carry. I mean, they've rushed one time though in the red zone. They don't get down there a lot. When they do, they pass. So, but their run game just hasn't been good. But Devon Achane just is amazing. James Cook, the concern with James Cook is that Josh Allen steals his touchdowns. If we're being honest, there's not a lot else to not like about James Cook in this one. I did mention Miami's defensive front is kind of their better part of their defense, but they just still have not been playing well at all. I think that was pretty clear last week against New England, against Drake May, Ramondre Stevenson. So, yeah, it's the top three are easily playable, and then it's trying to figure out where you're going to build your team from there. So Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle popped up on the injury report, which is why I said it's very important to watch the injuries in this game before just deciding who you're going to play, because there very much could be some very impactful injuries. So Waddle popped up. Tyreek Hill seems like the guy to go to just based off of Jalen Waddle being banged up against Buffalo's secondary, which has some pieces, but their secondary has been hurt. So that's one thing to take into consideration. So from the Miami side, from these top players, like Achane, easily my top one. I am okay with his price point of Tua. I don't think you need to get Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, right? If you wanted to go, Josh Allen, Like it's harder to do. And I'll just show an example instead of trying to explain it. But we throw Josh Allen in there, we throw Devon Achane in there, we throw James Cook in there, and we throw 2 in there. That's how much we're left with for an average, and we don't have a captain yet. So that's how complicated it is to afford these 3. It really is. So you have to play that into a factor. Can, James Cook outscore Devon Achane, right? Can Tua put up a 20-point performance in this one? So it's going to be tough to do that, right? That was without a captain. So yes, I think if you're going to go, the Tua route, you're gonna put him with Achane. Do I think you need Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, like one of the two? Not necessarily. Especially for the price points, but if I were to pick one, it would be Tyreek Hill, and I'm still not in love with that, but I think this could be a good opportunity for them to get a connection. And then for the Buffalo pass catchers, we get Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir right next to each other. I mean, Keon Coleman's having a hell of a year. Shakir's just not needed. I'm going to be honest. He's just not needed. With Miami running a little more man coverage, and you're getting a former Buffalo Bill on Miami secondary in Rasul Douglas, I think Keon Coleman's in a really good spot. He would be the guy I would prefer. It's really hard to judge the red zone targets because they're so even. A lot of those guys on Buffalo have 2. That's pretty much it. No one has 3. There's like 4 pass catchers with 2. So in this matchup, I prefer Keon Coleman versus Shakir just because Miami runs man coverage a little more, and Coleman's just had more success against man coverage. So yeah, I like Keon Coleman. I do think if you want to get different, playing the Bills defense is playable. I don't love it though. But if you're looking for a leverage play with a 49.5 point total, granted more people are going to play Buffalo's defense than most just because they're 11.5 point home favorites. Like, it's not a huge leverage play, but if you're looking for something there with a high scoring slate, this is one to do, right? If you want a 4-2 or 5-1 and you're rocking the Bills defense, it's kind of the way to go. And then we get to some of the cheaper plays, and I will mention Josh Palmer. He stands out in this one as well, just being a deep ball threat. We've seen him be utilized a little more than Khalil Shakir, which is concerning for me because I love Khalil Shakir. But like I said, they just haven't needed to use Shakir in the way they used him last season. So I do think Josh Palmer is an interesting play as well, especially cheaper than the defense, cheaper than Kincaid, cheaper than Matt Prater, a little more expensive than Patterson, but rightfully so, I'll say. And then Elijah Moore here, like it's pretty much Keon Coleman 1, Shakir 2, and then it's pretty split out. Josh Palmer leads it, but then you get Elijah Moore, get some reps in there. I don't think he's cheap enough though on the slate. He needs to be under $3K to be playable. At 3,600, he has that upside, but I just don't love it at the price point. 36 is kind of tough. So Miami's defense, this is extremely cheap for defense, like on a showdown. Like we have Josh Allen at like a high for a showdown price, and then we have Miami's defense for like a low. So if you want to get different and go, hey, how do I get different in this game? How do I get away from what everyone's doing? It's Miami's defense, and it's ugly. But if you're looking for any way to get completely different, it's Miami's defense. I'm just going to be honest. I don't see them having a good game, but this is the NFL, and anyone can have an off day, and for 3,000 you get a defense. It's just crazy. Like Miami's special teams got a kick return. It could happen is what I'm saying. So I don't want to say it's a great play or hey, I'm really looking at this, but the difficult thing about this slate as well is Miami's backup running backs, because Jalen Wright will be playing in this one, so you're just wondering what kind of role he has. So it's really difficult to play him or Ollie Gordon on this one. I will mention one of my favorite value plays on this is Davis, right? Ray Davis is 2,600 on this one. We saw him last week against the Jets. You know, when you're up that much, you kind of get your backup running backs in. We saw him get utilized in both games last season against Miami. One of them was pretty much his breakout game, but it wasn't anything crazy. But he did get utilized quite a bit in that game. I think it just made people realize Buffalo has a reliable backup. So at 2,600, he's kind of the guy I'm looking at, especially on a short week. We could see Ray Davis get a few more opportunities in this one. So at his price point, I definitely think he's kind of one of my favorite values. Some of the other guys, Dawson Knox, doesn't get included a lot. He doesn't need to, but he does get a lot of snaps. He's on the field a lot, so it's worth mentioning. Yet again, don't love it. Just he's on the field a lot, so I guess take that with what you will. And then Westbrook-Akine, Malik Washington, like on the Miami side, neither one of those guys really stand out to me. It's just really tough, right? The top pieces are so heavy of like that ceiling. You're gonna have to find value here somewhere, right? Whether that's Ray Davis, whether that's Dawson Knox, Westbrook-Akine, Josh Palmer, like I mentioned. So trying to figure it out. Let's try to do something, right? Let's try to do something. Let's go Achane. Let's stay away from James Cook. Let's go Josh Allen. Let's put Keon Coleman in here. Man, we're not looking pretty. We're not looking pretty at all. So we need to get cheap. So let's go Ray Davis. And then we have 6,000. So what if we did Josh Palmer? We're left with 72, and we don't get anybody on from Miami. So we don't get Tua, we don't get Tyreek, we don't get James Cook. So it's more complicated to do. So let's try this. Let's see what ends up happening. Let's put Tua. Let's put Tua in there. I know, I don't love it. We get Achane, right? We'll just try it again in just a different order. Josh Palmer, and we're left with 5,300, so we don't get Shakir or Coleman. So this one is truly, truly tough. Especially I don't have the top pieces of Buffalo, so it is going to be a little difficult to figure out how to put this. So yeah, I mean, I put Prater, but like I don't love it, right? That's just ugly. So kind of showing you how complicated it is to build off of having somebody that's 12,400 on this one, and that's without the captain status. If you want to pay the 18,000. So yeah, yet again, I just want to thank everyone for the support that we've received so far this season. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the content. I really do. I'm trying to be more consistent for you guys this season, and just post as much as I can. I am under the weather, so that's why I sound like this. I'm not as energetic, but I'm trying my best getting over the sickness. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good Thursday Night Showdown. Hopefully it's a good game. Hopefully we get one of those higher scoring Buffalo-Miami games, which we've seen. Hopefully it's not just a Buffalo, shutout. Hopefully it's back and forth, right, to some extent. But yeah, I hope it's a good game. Hope you guys have a good one. I'll see you in the next one.